Hey everyone, it's Crystal Neath, your intuitive tarot reader, and I'm here with your August 10th and August 11th weekend daily tarot reading. In this reading, I'll be picking up on the overall energy of the day. If you all hear some construction in the background, you'll have to excuse that. I am somewhere to where they are a bit noisy, but besides that, I will be picking up on the overall energy for all of us. So, the first card that we have out in the avoid position is the Ace of Pentacles. In the focus position, we have the Judgment upright. In the outcome of the day, we have the Ace of Cups. So, first off, I want to start with the Judgment right in the middle of the deck. This is known as the call to action. It's the card of there's no more time to wait. There's no more thinking to do. It is the time to take action. For all of us, this will be different. For some of us, this will be handling some business that has been needing to be taken care of for a while. For some of us, this will be finally saying yes to a relationship. For some of us, this will be finally waking out of a situation that has kind of had us under a spell or in some type of sleep. Okay. Also, I think the Judgment card is a really good indicator of seeing who is there for you and who isn't. It's like when the, shit hits the fan, who shows up and who doesn't. Okay. And the Judgment card upright ultimately is this energy of Archangel Gabriel, which, maybe we can all look into that energy today, because that will be the Archangel that will be helping us and guiding us today as we go through this major shift. Okay. Now, in the avoid position, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So this is saying, yes, even though today is a day to where people will really come to your call or to your rescue, ultimately, I think the main person that we can depend on is us and our higher connection with our higher self and God, in the angelic beings that kind of watch over us in the spiritual realm. Okay, because the Ace of Pentacles is a card of avoiding anything that deals with finances. So this would be a card to say not to overspend, to be more frugal with your finances. The Ace of Pentacles also deals with avoiding, this isn't the time to be the most giving. Okay, you have to focus on whatever this major moment is today that you're faced with or that you need to come to some realization about. Ace of Pentacles in reverse in the void position is also saying this is not the day to where you want to worry about money, which is why you don't want to overspend, because it's not a day about what you have and what you want and, what you desire on an earthly level. This isn't the day to mourn about, oh, I want to be pregnant so bad, or, I just want that relationship. None of that, because, and I find with the Ace of Pentacles, it's normally like really putting yourself down because you don't have the baby, or you're having a hard time getting pregnant, or you don't have the job, or maybe not all the finances that you would want today. And that's why it's like, don't focus on that. Allow what is meant to come in to come in. You are ultimately blessed. Everything at the end of the day always works out for us. So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is saying, don't do that to yourself. That's where you'll go wrong today. Now, for some of you, that will speak in terms of if you never give, if you never help, an energy of stinginess, not wanting to help, not wanting to give. And that's not really good karma. Of course, we have to be selfish a lot of the times in this life, because most of us, especially people who watch channels like this, are extremely selfless, and we give too much, and then we don't leave a lot for ourselves. So, but then a lot of the times it's individuals who won't give. They can give when they can come up with money and organize things when they need to. But when it comes to you, it's like, oh, I don't have it. So reevaluate the people in your life today and the position that they hold and play. Now, the last card that we have is the Ace of Cups upright, which is beautiful. This is saying if you focus on this and speak, I guess, because I was about to say spoken. I don't know why. But if you speak happiness and bliss and emotional fulfillment over your life today, you will have it. The Ace of Cups is a new relationship. It's like, yeah, I know you might not have all the financial things in life that you want right now. You might not have the house. You might not have the apartment. You might not have those earthly things. But when you keep your spirits high, everything works better for you. Of course, it's stressful in times to where we don't know, where the next, rent is coming from or whatever the case, or whatever your earthly struggle or whatever it is holding you back, or you feel that it's holding you back today. But what I was getting at is, if you focus on the imagination, because the water element rules Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, the spirit, the things that we can't see. It's the energy that a lot of us had when we were younger, when we could imagine ourselves of being this superstar or this model or this doctor or whatever it may have been. But when you are disconnected from the spiritual realm and you focus too much on the earthly realm of finances and work and things like that, or even children, a lot of us put ourselves down because we have a hard time getting pregnant, or, securing the certain things that, or having that nice, I don't know, Lexus truck or whatever it is that you desire. And it's like, well, ultimately, do those things mean anything if you don't have, the emotional capacity to enjoy them, or somebody who you love to share them with? Okay, so just keep that in mind, because the Ace of Cups is actually a very blessed, happy energy. I mean, we have so much more positive energy today than we do negative energy today. But what it makes me feel like, if you allow the earth to take you down, it will. Like they say, living is not for the weak. So if you find yourself constantly trying to compare your life quality to what you have in your pockets, or the mansion that somebody else has, you'll constantly be knocked down time and time again. Life already is this thing that we have to figure our way through. But what I find with energy like this is, when you focus on your spiritual connection with God or your higher power, and you realize that, I need nothing. I think it was like Bob Marley who he had a quote about this. I can't think of what it is right now. But, I think an interviewer was asking him, like, so what do you do now with all this money? And he pretty much answered him in a way like, what does it matter? Like, I don't need the money. The money doesn't make me, it doesn't bring any more happiness to my life. And that's so deep. And that's a very Aquarius thing to say, when you're like coming from a higher octave of Aquarius, because it deals with this energy of the alien and the outside world and not being earthly. And I think that was so deep. And, of course, his story ended shorter than it should have, but he had this philosophy of needing nothing and having everything. So I think that less is more today. Spend time with your family, the people who love you, even if it's just your tuning out and connecting with God on a higher level. Because if you make it about what you used to have or what should be, then that's where you'll have issues. But you can really connect with the water element today. Drink a lot of water today. Get out in water if you can. If you can go canoeing, or if you can, take a nice hot bath or something like that, it would be really helpful. Maybe even a spiritual bath, okay? With that being said, you all, this is what I have for Saturday. And now I'm going to get into the message of Sunday. So I'm going to move these cards over. And I pre-pull for time's sake for the energy of Sunday. You all, this card, if you should know it by now, the Nine of Swords, has been definitely the highlight, one of the highlights of August so far. But I'll go ahead and get started on what position these cards play. So this is for Sunday, the 11th. And as the overall energy, we have the Nine of Swords. What we want to avoid, the Five of Coins. And what we want to focus on is the Seven of Coins. Okay, so this is a day filled with with a lot of air, which is the element of communication, dialogue, thoughts. comprehension, and we also have the energy of earth. Okay, I just was explaining a lot about the earth element and what it means. So we don't have a lot of fire giving us too much energy today. Fire element is great for giving us that push that we need. And we don't have the water element. Okay. So with that being said, it seems like Saturday will bring the element of spiritual groundedness that we need. And then Sunday is going to bring the earthly things that we need in. Okay. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So, this is like I was saying anyway. So yesterday would be the spiritual beings and today would be the human experience. Okay. So the first card right in the middle of the overall energy, the Nine of Swords. This a lot of times comes up. I think a lot of us have been having like really wonky sleep patterns of August. The Nine of Swords is this woman constantly repeating a nightmare or some type of bad dream. Something is going, like I was saying, something is going on with this woman to where she has completely put herself in a position to where her subconscious mind has went into overdrive. She is just terrified almost of her own thoughts. And I think it's hard sometimes because in life it's very complicated. A lot of people who are into like spirituality and empaths and star seeds and all of these different type of energies that we come with upon this earth that are not explained to us when we get here, and we just have to figure it out. It puts us in a position to where it is stressful. We do feel like the black sheep sometimes. We do feel like, where are these people? Where this woman is concerned. She's alone. Where's her family? She's probably a single mother. Like, she has a lot going on within her head. And for some of you all, this is paranoia. This is like, bipolar disorder. This is constantly reliving what you were told in the negative over and over again. And I do feel like we can overcome any mental illness. We can overcome all these things that are sometimes we feel attached to us or that a doctor slaps on us only because we didn't realize, the whole time I wasn't bipolar. I was an extreme empath, so I was picking up on everybody's energy. Or, I'm not schizophrenic, I'm clairvoyant, or clairaudient. And, of course, you all, I'm not trying to make it like mental disorders don't exist. But what I'm saying is that if we expand our mind a bit more, we can see how we're actually not this black sheep or this individual who's completely outcasted. And I think with the Nine of Swords too, it's saying that when you focus on the negative, it grows. It just does. When you put yourself in a position to where you keep focusing on what is pissing you off or what is irritating you, somehow you'll constantly get more of it. It just happens, and it takes daily work. This is not something where it's just like, everybody just turns into this spiritual guru. No, it takes daily, consistent work of meditation and grounding so that you don't allow these earthly things to pull you down. Okay. I do feel like for whatever reason, a lot of people are having stressful situations around like housing and things like that. And I say that because I'm moving on to the next energy of the avoid position. And once again, with the Nine of Swords, do what you can, and what you can't do, leave it alone. Okay, get an early start today, you all, because patience and, is going to be your best friend today. If you try to think that you're going to get a million things done today, it will stress you out, okay? But in the void position, we have the Five of Coins. This woman is stressing about when she was homeless 5 years ago. And you see that she's in a home and this home is beautiful. But, like I say, if your mentality is not there, you cannot enjoy what the fruits of your labor, and it doesn't help to keep going back to old situations that are done and over with. This woman is stressing out. She's never going to be homeless again. She's never going to be left out in the cold. She's not putting herself in a position to where she's dating that person who's abusive or stressful to her life. She's not going to do that anymore. But because she hasn't realized that it's behind her, she's constantly replaying this. Okay. Now, with the Five of Coins in reverse in the avoid position, it is saying that you are coming out of financial struggle. You are coming out of feelings of being left out in the cold when you need people the most. So this is actually good. But it's also saying don't harp on that. Don't keep going back to, who didn't help you with this and who didn't do that, because you'll just keep getting more of it. And I know it's weird, but that's just how it works. So you definitely want to avoid that. Okay. We really have to be cautious of our spending, cautious on, not in a fearful way, but just in a way of, you know what, instead of connecting more with money and what I want, I'm going to connect with other things. Okay. Definitely not the negative aspects of finances because everything is actually getting better. Believe it or not, Sunday is not a horrible day. It's just a day of patience. And also the people who have been putting in the spiritual work and the grounding work and the patience and the meditation will see that you won't necessarily get the fruits of your labor today, but you definitely will see that little seed that you planted is going to start to sprout, which is a beautiful stage in our growing process and our spiritual path. So the Seven of Coins is saying, take things easy today, take things slow. Do what you can, and what you can't, don't stress about. Don't overthink. This is a day to where you definitely need to meditate. You definitely need to stop for, even if it's 5 minutes out of your day, and just, ground yourself. The Seven of Coins is also saying, a lot of you all, if you have time, let's say, you used to draw or used to paint or used to sing. Today is a day to where you want to get back to that. Perfect any skills that you have. And, whatever you put your work in towards today, it's going to grow and it's going to be a beautiful outcome later on. So take your time, be patient, put your energy towards what you want to grow, and you will see a beautiful, beautiful outcome later on. So with that being said, you all, I hope this message helped. If you ever need to get a private reading with me, you can do so by emailing me at crystalneath@gmail.com. Besides that, have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you later.